Interior Hatchet's office, brothel. Sunset. Salomé stands in front of Hatchet's desk. The latter sits in a chair behind it, looks her up and down. What did you see? 2 guests. One went with Theodora, the other with Ruby. What else? Not much. Afraid so. This isn't the city. I won't miss the city. That I believe. You wouldn't have ruined your dress like that, running away, I reckon, if you did. Indeed, there are rips and dirt marks all over Salomé's dress. Well, about that. Interior room in Galveston, Texas. Night. A knock on the door. Salomé pats down her dress. Come in. A man enters, bows his head to take off a hat. How gentlemanly of you to knock. Most just barge right. Something more than words dies on the edge of Salomé's lips. This face is unmistakable. Spare parts that don't match. There he stands, Holker, the man. A boy no more. He fiddles with his hat and generally fails to impersonate confidence. It really is you. I mean, they, described you, but I wasn't sure. Wait. Holker hasn't spoken before, but now that he does, his voice sounds exactly like the narrator's voiceover. Even though it was quite a specific request, I wanted one who couldn't walk right. Not many whores with a limp, are there? More than you'd think. Ox. You can cut the air with a knife by now. I don't mean it like that. No, you just like damaged goods. I've been looking for you. Questions and answers battle it out in Salomé's countenance, but neither get to say a word. She forbids it. Do you still have it? Have what? You know what? Salomé hesitates, but finally lifts her dress up to her knees. A nice shoe on one foot. The other is cut open to accommodate a wooden heel lift, 3 inches tall. When I carved it for you, it was all this boy could think of doing to make it right. You crippled me. I know. Why are you here? What I'm trying to... I've learned to apologize. I haven't learned to live with the guilt. I won't be your priest. Don't want you to. Just let me try. Let me try to apologize. I don't ask you to forgive, not to forget, just to make you feel better. Maybe you will too. Who knows? Salomé eventually sits down on the edge of the bed. Holker remains planted where he is, holds on to his hat for dear life. Okay. Well, for a while, I believed it would heal. And that things would go back to how they used to be. So, in hindsight, I guess I thought that everyone could see plain as day how embarrassed I was. Embarrassed to the bone. You, especially. What good were words, huh? I couldn't wait until you'd put weight on it again. Try out with me again. It was a foolish thing to believe, even if your leg had healed right. But by the time I realized that, too many words had not been said. Too much of everything had passed. Holker pauses to gauge how he is doing, but Salomé gives him no clue. And you hadn't grown right. I saw you struggling to even walk. And once again, my compassion wouldn't form into words. It fled into my fingers. I took this piece of wood, I carved, I tried to make good. You took the thing at least. I was scared you'd hit me with it if I didn't. He did not see that one coming. Hoker trembles, wipes some unbidden tears away. You still use it, though? Salomé casts down her eyes, nods. Listen, I wish I could undo what I did. I truly do. I'm sorry for the pain I caused you, and I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I should have told you that back then. I should have used my mouth. It wouldn't have mattered if you'd rejected my apology. That's your right, still is. It's just you deserve more than the silence of an idiot. So I've been looking for you, to make good on that, for what it's worth. Not much, probably, but at least you get your right. You get to decide if you want to accept my apology or tell me to stick it. Either which way, I have no say in this, I know. That cut the air with a knife feeling again. Hoker simmers in it while Salomé still takes in what he said. It's all I have to say. I know. You don't need to say anything. No. No. She gets up from the bed. Thank you. Years of guilt seem to fall from Hoker's shoulders. He basically transforms to the right side of ugly for a second. You were right. This does make me feel better. Good Lord. That's a relief. They can't help but smile, bad at it as they both are. So, now... Well, I don't know what to say. Thank you for coming. Of course. Shall we... Yes? Get to business, then. Business. They wouldn't let me come up like this, of course. I had to pay. Pay? Yeah. Half an hour. Salomé breaks a cheeky smile, wherever she finds the nerve to pull it from. Well, why don't you splash off that dust on your face while I get more comfortable here? She strokes the duvet by her side, but her eyes direct Hoker to a second door in the room. He walks over, opens the door, finds a basin and a bucket on the dresser, an oil lamp too. Hoker barely fits the space. Makes no sense for the ladies to do their washing and brushing and such in a tiny dark extra room, does it? Salomé glides over to the tiny room, slams the door shut behind Hoker, locks it. Unless that room is not really for them, but for emergencies. What the hell? Salomé makes for the window, yanks it open. Banging from inside the trap room, Salomé climbs out the window, gets her dress caught up on the sill, tumbles down. Exterior, back alley, Galveston, Texas, continues. A rough landing. Salomé examines her dress. She gets up, starts to run down the back alley, transitions to a hop, reaches for the shoe with the heel lift, takes it out, and flings it as far as she can. Interior, room in Galveston, Texas, continues. The door to the trap room breaks open. Hoker storms out, finds the bedroom deserted. I saw the window, the bits of her dress hanging from it. And then there was the broken door, too. Hoker turns his attention to the door. They'd make me pay for the damage. No, even worse, they'd think I had done something to her. 2-3 quick steps to the window. Hoker sticks his head out, sees no one in the alley. I was mad. Hoker pulls out a wallet, removes money, throws the empty wallet out the window. Then he lunges for the oil lamp in the trap room and smashes it on his forehead. Shards, blood. Down on his knees he goes with dizziness. Interior, Hatchet's office, brothel, sunset. Walk with me. Hatchet gets up from behind the table, walks out of the room. She will lead Salomé like a piper while they talk. Which city is that you ran from? Does it matter? The miles matter. Galveston. That's enough miles. I didn't do it. It's a mistake. No one here cares. Hatchet descends the stairs to the salon. Salomé follows with irregular steps. She grabs the handrail for support. But the more the miles, the less bounty hunters. Rule of thumb. I don't mind their profession, but they're usually pesky without compensation. There's no bounty on me. You waited to find out? Touché. No answer, but... Hatchet picks up the pace when the pair reaches the carpet paradise that is the salon. She navigates easy chairs on her way to the front door. Salomé struggles to keep up with Hatchet. It's obvious she tries to hide a bad limp. They're all drunk here. That's not news. Not like you've seen, I promise you that. This place is something else. The front door of the brothel flies open. Hatchet steps out, heads straight for the saloon. I fill them up real good. I have them drink day and night. Hatchet turns around abruptly, stops right in front of the saloon. Salomé almost bumps into her. Everyone here works for me, because I give the men what they want, and what they want makes a very short list. Beer's on it, liquor is, but a girl with a limp is not. I don't have a... You take me for a fool, girl. You didn't even... Stairs make sounds, and carpets too. My ears are much better than my eyes. I'm good. Good for you. Hatchet turns to the saloon, ready to leave Salomé standing. Let me... Not interested. Interior, saloon, beer city continuous. Full house. Murmur and laughter. A skilled player attacks the piano keys at breakneck speed. Just give me a chance. You've had it. All the way from over there to here. Get lost. Barkeeper spots Hatchet in the crowd. The man is here. Heads turn. Hatchet's cue. One round on the house, then. Cheers ensue. Some men salute Hatchet, crowd around her. This cuts Salomé off, but she discovers skilled player on his piano. She goes and leans into him, whispers in his ear. Is this all you know? Skilled player chuckles. Doesn't miss a note. Can you play what you see? What? So, no? I can play anything. Then watch me, and play what you see. Salomé pulls a chair from the next best table over to the side of the piano, climbs on top of it, stands up straight, arms raised to the roof. Whistles and ohs from the drunk crowd. Samson and his posse huddle in the back. Quitley sits at the bar, all eyes on Salomé as she begins to wave her arms hypnotically. Skilled piano player catches on quickly, transitions into a haunting melody that will match Salomé's movements perfectly, increasingly eerie, beautiful, otherworldly. Salomé lifts one leg, arches her back like a gymnast on a beam. She bends so far that her head goes upside down. Her spine curves, leg up high. Salomé's hands touch down on the piano lid, a perfect bridge, perfectly underscored by a piano key change. Salomé pushes off with her legs, briefly ends up in a handstand on the edge of the piano, exchanges glances with skilled player, then lets herself collapse onto the lid with a thud and dangerous piano chord. Uneasy whispers. But finally Salomé lifts one arm, snakes it up slowly like an enchanted cobra. The cheers and applause introduce Cheater on his knees and busy packing his belongings in a saddlebag. But when the applause ends, the tiny barrel of a Chinese go-home cap gun presses into Cheater's back. Salomé twists her cobra-like arm away from her, so unnaturally that several men wince at the sight of it. Cheater's face winces too. He holds up his arms. What do you want? Salomé makes it look as if her distended arm pulls her slowly into a sitting position. You took my things. Missing something in particular? Cheetah takes down his arms, laughs. And so does Hatchet, who now leans against the bar by quickly. She watches Salomé contort her arms behind her back, above her head, but mostly how Salomé's cold eyes positively bewitch every single man in the room. That's bold, Chinaman. Cheetah turns around on his knees, finds Foon squatting before him, gun drawn. How many of those you got, huh? Just one. Salomé goes full possessed zombie vogue with her hands, neck and shoulders. Skilled player, once again on par with her game, launches the haunted melody finale. Cheetah points at the saddlebag in his lap. You can't even count. One of each. Foon jerks his arm forward. Salomé's hands dance in a whirlwind of twists. Foon pulls the trigger, and Salomé collapses to a final discord. End intercut. Interior, Cheetah's tent, Beer City night. Cheetah's head is in the dust. A small red hole in his forehead oozes a bit of former life. Foon rummages through the saddlebag as a storm of applause fades in, for which Salomé blows kisses in return. The saloon erupts in excitement. Samson gives a standing ovation, nudges Cyril to do the same, quickly shakes his head at the mayhem. Skilled player helps Salomé down from the piano but gets pushed aside by a tall guy. You're coming with me, witch. She wags a finger in tall guy's face, then points to Hatchet over at the bar. Hey, take my last penny, Hatchet. Laughter all around until Hatchet gives tall guy a nod and Salomé a smile. Interior, Cheetah's tent, Beer City night. Commotion. The tent almost bursts because player 1 and player 2 from the card game wrestle Foon to the ground. He kicks and fights, but they pull him out of the tent. Exterior.